What's up, everybody? Well, as everybody knows, Sturgis is about 6 weeks away from this point. So I've been doing a lot of things, getting ready for the big ride, and today is one of them. So I'm going to start with my oil changes. I'm probably going to have a 3-part series here of all 3 oils in the 2016 Heritage Softtail. And as some of you may or may not know, I run strictly Amsoil, and I love it. But today we're going to do this video here is going to be for the motor, the actual motor oil. So we got synthetic V-twin motorcycle oil in a 20W50. That's what we're doing today on this video. And then in parts 2 and 3, you will see me doing my primary. And again, I use the synthetic Amsoil. And then you'll also see in either 2 or 3, you will see the transmission. Now, I religiously, regardless, because I know like the transmission in the primary is like a 10,000, 20,000 mile change. I change them every year. You know, I do a lot of writing, and you know, if I'm going to do one, I'm going to do all of them. You know, and so as we begin, the drain nut is on the Heritage is right here. It's actually built into the frame, you know. So I'm also going to pop the top to my oil fill for better drainage. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this, and I only got a small pan. I got a big one that barely fits under there, so I may end up having to kind of stop, and if this pan gets too full, and plug this back up so I can fill it again. I pull that, and if you, I don't know, I can't really tell how you guys can see this on the camera, but by looking at it, it looks like excellent shape. I mean, usually I might see a little bit of gray just from the, you know, the metal moving around in there, but I'm not even really seeing nothing on there. That's good news. Yeah, I mean, it seems like everything's working pretty well. And usually while I let this oil drain, keeping an eye on it at the same time, I go ahead and pop this O-ring off of here and put a new one on. Or I might have to wait till this pan fills up with oil. So there's the old one. It's actually still pretty good shape, but that one goes in the box. Wipe your plug off real good. And I'm going to wait just a second before I put the other O-ring on. Because I'm probably going to have to stop this and let it drain some more. It was due. This oil was in there from last year when I rode to Sturgis. So to be honest with you, it probably got about 5,000 to 6,000 miles on it, but it's Amsoil. They say that Amsoil is good for at least twice the recommended oil. You know, if you're doing 3,000 miles, it's definitely good for 6. All right, I'm gonna try to plug this back up real quick. Dry. Ugh. Easier said than done. Yeah, that's not working. Oh, I was better off doing it with my fingers. I just want to get that to stop real quick so I can empty this pan. Yep, I was definitely ready. Guess while we're waiting for this to drain the rest of the way here, once I get these things wiped off, I will stop the video and come back because I need to get some more rags and some new gloves. So don't go nowhere. Short break. All right, we're back. All the oil is drained, and I still have to put my new O-ring on here. So we'll put the new O-ring on. I'm going to get this oil out of the way. You know, the harder you try to get the oil from on your hands, the more you get on your hands. Kind of wipe that hole off a little bit. And replug it. We still got to do the filter on the other side. So once we get all this buttoned up, we will take a break and head on over to the other side. All right, and just so you guys know, I use a torque wrench when I'm putting these back on, and the normal torque is anywhere between 14 and 21 pounds. I usually try to set it somewhere in the middle, and I have mine set at 17. Yep, and now we're buttoned up. Take a small break and head over to the other side and pull the filter. Get rid of this oil. All right, we're back. We're going to try to do this oil filter. This one here can be a little messy. So yep. Every time. Set that in there for now. Now I gotta get up in here and try and clean this up a little bit. I'm going to, I think I'm going to stop the video for a minute, clean this up, and come back when I'm getting ready to put my filter back on. Alright guys, I'm back. I got to clean up the best I could. Usually after I get done with all my oil changes, I usually wash my bike to try to get all that excess oil and fingerprints and stuff up off the bike. So I'm not worried about, you know, having too much on here. But so we're going to get ready to put this filter on. If you guys aren't familiar with the Heritage, I mean, we have this little doohickey right here. I don't know if you can see it with me pointing. It kind of gets in the way when you put your filter on there. That's why they make this oil filter wrench with this little groove in it. So, you know, once I get this oil filter on there and it actually, you know, the rubber actually, you know, you feel it kind of stopping, I have to do some adjusting, and then I'll give it a half a turn, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, you know, hand tighten and give it half a turn, and that's it. But it's a little tricky when you because my hands are real oily and I can't really get a good grip up in there to give it that half a turn. So I do use my oil filter wrench, and I kind of just, you know, measure and then just give it a half a turn, and then I pull it off. So I know there's some people saying, hey, you probably shouldn't use that, putting that oil filter on there, but I do make sure that I'm only giving it to that half a turn, and that is it. So let's get with the filter. Brand new filter. Okay, now the first thing you always want to do, some people don't do this, but it's recommended. Take this O-ring out, completely out, and oil. This is brand new oil. Oil the entire O-ring. This will help it get seated on both sides, motorcycle side and filter side. Also, some people fill them all the way up with oil. I do not. I do put some in there. That's probably way too much right there. And I kind of turn it and let it get kind of into the filter. Before I put it on there. honestly, I can barely hold on to this thing now because my gloves are all oily. So now I'm going to stick this baby on there. And I can barely turn it. That's the reason why I use this. Get it in there. It should be on there. It's on there. Like I said, it's very tricky because that piece that sticks out right there, because I have to get this back off. And now it is seated, and now I'm going to give it a half a turn. But I have to kind of do it in a weird way because of the way that sits. See, that's a quarter, and then I got to break this baby off of here and try to reposition it somehow. See, that's a half. Oh, that's a half, but you got to kind of turn this thing to get it out of there. I had it. All right, guys. That last little segment, my phone overheated, but I think you guys really only missed about 10 seconds or so. But I got that off of there and cleaned things up a little bit. And now the easy part is to put the oil in. And you know, there's my bike takes about 3 quarts, standard 3 quarts, but you can't get all the oil out of there, you know, because there's still some in the motor. So in the end, once I take the filter off and drain the oil and put the oil back in, I'm actually only putting in about 2.5 quarts before it's full. So this should be the quick and easy part, and then we will be done with the oil. And hopefully we can get this in. By the way, today's Monday, and last week we've already, and this is June, it's mid-June, and we've already got, I think, 2 or 3 90-degree days in the books. And today is supposed to be like 89. And that's the reason why my phone overheated. But this coming week, I think actually starting tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday this week, it's going to be almost 100 degrees. You know, so I mean, we've got some crazy weather coming. All right, so there's two. And I want to stop at a half because I have other oils to change, and then I will run this later and check everything. To make sure everything is good. Again, this is a 2016 Heritage Softtail. If you guys got any questions with this oil change, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Subscribe, like the video, and don't forget about Patreon. Sturgis is coming up, so I'll catch you guys on the next video.